2026. 2026 has been off to like the weirdest start for me. I did a ton of traveling for the holidays, which I do every year and I love. But then right at the end of that, we went to Virginia for New Year's. Then I got the flu. So bad. So everyone wash their hands because the flu this year is like literally no joke. I sat right over there in that little corner for the first like 20 days of January and just like rotted and like coughed a lot. So I am finally ready to just get back into a groove, reflect on last year, start 2026 for real, because there's a lot of really exciting things happening in my life this year, and I'm really excited to get to share them this year and document them for like myself. I am like pretty type A. I've gotten better, but I'm still pretty type A, and I love goal setting with like ADHD and stuff. This works so well for me. So we're gonna kind of chat about 2025 goals and then 2026. So starting with 2025. 2025 was such an interesting year. I had all these things that like I really wanted to do, but then like the biggest things in my life were not things that I expected to happen. So how I do my like goal setting and my like little new year reset here is I pick a word for the year that I kind of try and like center everything around, but I make my goals first and I break them up into categories. My word of the year for 2025 was streamline. I just wanted to like not feel so like all over the place and chaotic. I travel a lot, so I wanted to make that less stressful. I am just always running around doing a million different things, like in my brain, in my apartment, and outside of my apartment. So I just really wanted to feel more like all of those things are gonna happen no matter what. So like, how can I make them as easy as possible for me? So the first category I always do is health. So for me, this is like physical health and eating. So I have a crock pot that I literally got when I moved here, which was kind of a few years ago now, and I've yet to use it. So I wanted to use it last year, like in 2025. I wanted to finally use it. I did not, so that is actually a goal in 2026, but we'll get there, I swear. Try a new dance class, which I did. One of my friends, she's a dance teacher, so I got to take some of her classes, which was really fun and just like so nice to get back to like moving in a very like creative way. So that was really fun. I wanted to take more care of just like myself. I work from home, obviously. I'm not setting a good example right now. I am in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, but at least it's a matching set, and at least I put on some makeup, and at least I like kind of put my hair up, so I don't need to get like dressed up every day or whatever, but just like to feel like a human every day was important to me. I also wanted to try like some workout like YouTube videos, which like I try to remember the intention behind every goal, and like for that one it was just like to move more. But obviously at the end of the year I decided I was gonna run a half marathon, like it's like in a month. So I feel like that goal kind of got like checked off by starting to train for the half marathon at the end of the year. And then trying to go to the gym, which obviously I did to run, which we'll get there, it's fine. And then I have like my career and like education goals. I wanted to make another screen dance, which I did not get to do. It's just so hard when like the further you get out of college and everyone like moves and all this stuff. So like I really would like to do that again, but I'm hoping like even just when we go to Florida and there's like a whole new crop of like dancers and stuff like that, I think that could be really fun and also just like a good way to make friends. So I'm okay with it. Finish Tainted. I would like to say this happened, but it didn't. And this should come as a shock to literally no one that that's the case. But this weekend, David and Jeffrey are sitting down and they're gonna finish it. We did finished filming some stuff because they wanted to add some stuff, but dear God, I hope this year that's over. Oh my God. And then I wanted to teach another screen dance class. I got to do that at the same studio that I was like taking the classes at. And that's always so fun and so special, is to like get to like share that with kids specifically is really fun, because I think it's a big part of like the future of dance and film. That was really fun to get to do that. I also, in my job, like my actual like corporate job, I wanted to do more paid social media and like learn more about that, which I did get to do. At the end of last year, we launched an affiliate program, or I launched an affiliate program for one of our apps, which was really exciting. I got to work more with like the influencers that we work with and our UGC creators, and also then just like paid ads on social like with them. So that was really exciting, and I really like doing that too. Grad school, it's still on my radar. And I wanted to research some grad schools, and I did, and I found some really cool ones in Florida that have awesome programs. So I'm really hoping that when we move, that's something I can do. Whether, I mean, I'd love to do it like in person at night and everything. That would be like so cool. But like, we'll see realistically if it needs to be like an online program or something. But I found some really cool Florida schools with some awesome connections that I'm really excited to kind of like dive into that and get back into like learning, because my next goal was to finish my NYU class. So this year I got a certificate from NYU in like entertainment business, which was so cool. So it was like film and TV, theater, gaming. It was all different like mediums of like creative projects and how like the business works in all of them. And the projects we got to do were really cool. It had a big marketing focus too. So it also allowed me to kind of like bring some of that to my current job. But I loved it. It was really, really cool. And I definitely think that's something where I want to go, like when I go to grad school, like really focus in that, like that area, the entertainment management, entertainment business side of things. Because I think that's something that I love so much, is like having that intersection of like creating and like logistics. And I think that if you have both, that's like kind of a unique skill set to actually be able to do both and enjoy doing both. So I want to take advantage of that in my grad school and my next job and whatever that looks like. So the next category is like mental and spiritual growth goals thing. I have this Bible book that I've literally had since college. The Bible in 52 Weeks, I think is what it's called. It like goes through each one and there's like reflection questions and you write about it and stuff. And I wanted to like do that this year and like just work on it, even if I didn't finish it. I didn't do that either. But I also feel like I got better at like doing other things to help. Like I did Hallow more. I got another one of the things is I wanted to get like a book. I don't actually know what it's called, but it's like the books that you bring to church that have like the readings and everything in them. Because the church I go to out here in PA like doesn't have like the readings in the books that are in the pews and stuff. And the auditory processing just, it couldn't tell you anything that happened in mass if I'm not reading. I also wanted to try journaling. I started using the journal app that's like on Apple, and I set it so it'll just give me like little prompts, which is really fun actually, because it'll just be like one question, I write one line, and like that's it. And I just kind of want to be more intentional about like, you know, reflecting and having gratitude for things and all that. And if you aren't using the journal app and setting like daily like reminders to like prompt you with questions, like definitely check it out because it's been really cool. I go back and forth between here and New Jersey constantly. And it was so hard because I just had stuff everywhere and I never knew where anything was, whether it was here or whether it was there. I had literally no idea. So I just wanted to make it easy to go back and forth. So I just like got a second set of like toiletries and makeup. I made sure I have enough clothes there where I can just kind of show up and I'll figure it out. Of all the things I did in 2025, that was absolutely the most impactful thing that I did, even though it was like kind of a smaller thing. It just, so thankful that I actually put the time in and did that. And then my relationships, all the relationships in my life with my family, with my friends, with GP. I wanted to visit my cousins at Clemson. That's been again on the list for a few years. They both go to Clemson. One of them graduated in like last December, but she's there all the time, so I could still totally go. But maybe I'll go before they graduate. I've like been there with my family and everything and visited them and went to graduations and stuff, but I also just like want to go with myself and have like a fun little girls weekend. I also wanted to get together with my high school friends. A lot of them still live in/near like my hometown, like where we went to high school. And I would love to go and get together with them. I wanted to do more like new things with JP because, you know, we love a movie night. We went to film school and we did. We traveled. So we went to New York a ton in 2025, which was really fun. And that was like a fun way to try new things. I feel like we also just started doing new things in like our daily life instead of just like hanging out or going to the movies or watching a movie or going out to eat. And obviously a big new thing was like getting engaged. So like I feel like we just checked that box with that. I also like wanted to help him with like visiting his like friends and family in Virginia and stuff more because it's hard, like, you know, especially when I made these, he had just gotten like his new job with like regular hours, and I was like, okay, he finally has a sec to like breathe and live like a normal human and not work until like 11 o'clock at night, like every night. Right at the beginning of the year in 2025, we did go there. And then right at the beginning of 2026 we did, and obviously we went in between for like lots of fun things and engagement parties and baptisms and all that fun stuff. I also wanted to like host once a month, which I like kind of did. And it could even be like with like my parents come out to visit, but I just kind of do it more like intentionally. I make food or something that's just more intentional, make it fun and whatever when people come to visit. I don't know if you can hear that. I really hope you can. Anything that kind of doesn't fit into a category goes into lifestyle. I wanted to declutter and organize my spaces. I like have a half check mark on this because it was like I did a lot at the beginning of the year, but then like now it's like kind of a hot mess again. I think it was like in the fall or something. Cleaned out a bunch of like my stuff at home, like in New Jersey, and I got rid of like bags and bags of stuff. Because I feel like being here, it's like, okay, what do I actually like use? And especially then when I wanted to make it easy to go back and forth, now I kind of know like what I actually need to do that, and then everything else, unless it's sentimental or whatever, like I don't need it. Practicing my camera, I like sort of did at the end of the year, and then I got this, my like little DJI guy, my new friend here. So like, did I? Yeah. Did I in the way I thought I was going to? No. So like, it gets a full check mark. I also wanted to start doing long form content because that's so fun, and I think like social media is great, and I love being able to just like document little clips for my day, because I think social media for me is like totally a like digital diary and like brain dump of memories and stuff, and I actually love to go and look back at like my Instagram and my TikTok and like the fun pictures and whatever. But I want to do long form content too, and very like chill and like home movie style, because also, and I talked about this in like my like first video I did on here, is like, you know, a lot of the things that I'm doing right now are things that are very like important to me and also very temporary. So like living alone, something I always wanted to do. I was able to document what this looks like, document like, you know, all these really exciting like wedding memories and things with my family, and like, you know, the house I went to high school in. And I wish I had, you know, more stuff like that of like my childhood home. But obviously, like, I was a kid, so like my parents have all that. But I love when they put the discs in and like we watch home movies. So I just wanted like, you know, one day this I'll feel like the way I feel about like, you know, when I was little and watching those videos about like this time in my life. And if I have the skills and I have the like ability to like get a camera and talk about it and do it and edit it and share it and all this stuff, like if I'm gonna use it for anything, like it totally should be to like document like all these special times in my life. So I got on another tangent, sorry. I wanted to take better care of my apartment. Okay, I don't think it looks great right now. So like I had the flu, like leave me alone. But I just wanted to like try and like build better habits, like just stay on top of laundry and not let, you know, a ton of expired food stay in my fridge and stuff like that. And I think I generally did a much better job at that. Part of it is just like learning that, you know, my brain works differently and that's okay. I'm just like, you know, not feeling guilty about rest so I can, you know, clean my apartment. I wanted to go on a solo trip in 2025. Will I ever shut up about this trip? Probably not. I wanted to just do the act of like traveling by myself, like flying somewhere, having to, you know, call an Uber at the airport, go to a hotel. I've only ever traveled with like my family, and my dad is like, he's such an airport dad. Like I love it. I couldn't tell you what airport we're at some of the time. So I just wanted to like be able to do that by myself, especially before like I get married, and then suddenly I'm, you know, JP and I are traveling together all the time. So in October, I got to go to Disney World. One of my friends, Lena, who she works at Disney, and she like dances in parades and stuff. It's so cool. And I got to go and visit her. So I did the whole traveling thing by myself, and then she had to work some of the days. So I got to like, you know, do my thing, and like, yes, I just did my solo trip, but I also got to see her and hang out with her. So it was like the perfect balance. I will literally never shut up about that trip. It was just, it was so awesome. And I think going and seeing her there was really what like also pushed me over the edge to be like, let's move, let's go to Florida, because it was so nice and I was so happy. And then I wanted to start playing my guitar again. I got a guitar when I was like maybe 12, and I was like, I am Taylor Swift. I did in fact find out that like maybe piano is more my jam. I don't think I have the the I don't know, I'm not good with like pain, and you've got to build the calluses on your fingers. I just became more of a piano girly, but I have the guitar, and I think it'd be really fun to like relearn how to play it, because I took lessons and that was fine, but I'm just not like, I'm not going to do scales, and it's not for me. So then during COVID, I remember I kind of like retaught myself, because that's how I got really into piano, was like I took lessons, but then most of it was just like I taught myself, and I've always been able to do that with like my clarinet when I was in like middle school band. And so I was like, I feel like if I just teach myself, it'll be fine. And so I did in 2020, but then fell off again. So this year I was able to kind of like re-teach myself, and it's also nice to know that like I can reteach myself at any time, and it seems like it'll be fine. So I'd love to get a point where I don't have to reteach myself and I just like got it. But that was really fun to bring some like music into my apartment. And then last one, I swear I got on a lot of tangents at the end. My finances, so fun. We love her. I feel like it was awesome last year because I'm very blessed to have had like good jobs out of college. I'm blessed to have had like, you know, side projects to like make a little extra money. Like I'm very thankful for that. So I feel like I kind of went into the year like, what should like the next step be? And so like I won't go into the specifics of everything, but like, you know, I was able to do things like increase my monthly savings, which has been really helpful for everything coming up in my life. I was able to like start investing more money and like things like that, which I feel very lucky to be able to do that. That is my 2025 goals. So 2026, it's here. This year obviously was off to a weird start, but it did kind of force me to like slow down. I used to be a January 1st all or nothing. Like I'm gonna do everything to prep January 1st, and it's gonna be like, I'm gonna hit the ground running and I'm gonna do everything at once and everything's gonna be great. And that was like never the case. So it kind of forced me to slow down and like start prepping for the year in January, because like literally, why not? And there's so many big things going in my life already. What is actually important to me enough to like add on top of those really big things that are happening in 2026. So for my 2026 goals, my word for 2026 is progress, not progress. Progress. Just like there's a lot going on, just like keep chugging along, like just do the next thing and just like keep everything moving. And nothing needs to be perfect. If I end the year and I feel like I've done the big things and then I just like chugged along in all the other places, I'll be thrilled. So for health, shocker, I need to try my crock pot. I'm running the half marathon, which is in a month-ish, and I'm literally so nervous because obviously I had the flu and I couldn't run for like, I think it was like 3+ weeks. And then also after the race, so the race is I think March 1st. And so after that, I want to be able to like maintain movement. Like I'll give myself some time to rest after that. But like I don't want to just then fall off, because I realized like in order for me to move, like I was dancing for so long and everything that like there was always something to work towards. It's like we need to finish the dance, or you need to like get this trick, or you need to, you know, we have a competition coming up, or we have a recital coming up, or whatever. But I don't anymore with like movement. It's just like I have to be self-motivated with it. That's definitely a challenge for me with, you know, some things that aren't like an instant gratification thing. And so running the half marathon gave me something to work towards, and then doing it at Disney just made it like chill and fun and something I already love. If I like it that much when we're living there, we can do it more. So I'm doing it with my mom and my dad, which will be very fun. And I started training in November. So I don't run at all. So like we'll see how it goes. Career and education. Finished Tainted, dear God. They're supposed to finish it on Sunday during this like little snowstorm thing we got going on. So I really hope that happens and we can just like go into like this spring festival season just ready to do it and to network it. And we got some really good feedback of like, you know, submitting to some big festivals, and that could be really good. I also need to refresh my website. So my friend who does the like web design for me, I've changed so much in what my priorities are, and also like learned so much of like how I want to market myself as a professional and like corporate 9-to-5 stuff, but then also like me, that I want to refresh it and like prioritize like what content I'm really like highlighting. Like I'd love to do more interview stuff, so I want to make sure all the podcasts that I've like hosted for different like companies and schools and stuff, like I want to make sure all of that stuff is like featured a little more. I also want to do more like networking this year with people who aren't just in social media. I think I've been like so social media like focused for like a long time, which obviously like it's my job to do that. But I also feel like so much of you know, social media is just like knowing about marketing and knowing about entertainment and knowing about like graphic design and stuff like that. So being able to talk to people in those areas, and especially too if with this Florida move I'm able to like network with people at like Disney or Universal or whatever who like, you know, they are the experts in branding and marketing and customer experience and community building and audience connection and storytelling. So if I'm able to like learn like just a drop in the bucket of what they're doing and apply that to like myself and my work, like that would be really cool. So for my like mental and spiritual stuff, I want to prioritize screen-free hobbies. I'm obsessed with the like cozy hobby analog trend going on. I actually took a bunch of movies from my parents' house, like DVDs. Also, a lot of them are the Barbie movies, which you cannot find on any streaming service. So here for that. But just like prioritizing like reading and finishing the Harry Potter series finally, and coloring and like playing more games and just things that aren't like sitting on my phone or my computer, even if it has a screen, but I'm doing something like intentionally. I also want to use Hallow regularly. There's just so much cool stuff on there now. I mean, there's been for a long time, but I feel like they're getting more stuff that feels more relevant to me. There's so many young people who are like becoming Christian and Catholic and really like embracing that side, that obviously Hallow has had to embrace it too. So with that, there's just so many cool people to learn from. There's a lot of Mary Magdalene stuff on there now, especially with like The Chosen. If you don't know, I'm like big Mary Magdalene fan. And so I want to just like use that more and just build that more into like my routine of like, you know, if I'm gonna put music on, like maybe I actually put like a Hallow series on, or Father Mike homily. We love Father Mike, something like that. And then research Florida therapist at the end of the year. I'm very sad to be leaving my current one. She's the best, but there's so many laws around like where they can practice and how they can practice, and like crossing state, or like them practicing across state lines, like even if it's virtual or whatever. So chances are I'm gonna have to find a new one. We'll go into mourning for that one for a little bit. But I do want to be able to, obviously a big transition will be like moving, and I just want to be able to like know that I have like that resource available, because that makes a big difference for me and all my things. Relationships. This might come as a shock to everyone that my biggest relationship goal is to like get married. Shocking. But I just want to like do the thing. I want to get married. I'm like so honestly chill about it now, which, and I don't mean this in like a like annoying way, because I'm not chill about many things. So the fact that I am able to be chill about this is huge, and I think very like reassuring that like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. There's things that I really care about with the day, and all of those things are like with the intention of keeping it like really chill and colorful and fun and relaxed, and not this like stuffy formal thing. Like it's just not for me. Like that's not what makes me like comfortable and happy. And I just want it to feel so us, because we've been together for so long that like we don't like I don't think it's maybe as much of a big deal transition as it would be for people who, you know, are together for 2 or 3 years and then they get engaged to get married. By the time we get married, I think it will be like almost 7 years since we met, which is crazy. So it's just like a totally different experience than it is for like a lot of people who don't wait 7 years to get married. We were just so young when we met, but I'm just keeping it chill. And it's like, it's so funny. The other day my mom was like, can I like do anything for like the wedding? And I was like, I mean, here's this like one thing that would be cool if you guys like did it, but otherwise like I'm fine. So it's nice to just feel relaxed about it and feel good about it. I'm just be able to have fun with the year and not just the day. I also kind of continuing that trend, having the same attitude around moving and just being able to move peacefully. Like whatever mental stuff I need to go through, whatever like physical like decluttering and everything that we need to go through, and just kind of going into it with joy, because it's something I've wanted to do for so long, is move to Florida and just like try this whole new like lifestyle. I just want to be able to do it peacefully. I'm moving there and JP will be moving with me, like keeping it peaceful with us. My parents will be moving there, and like, you know, helping them. And also like, I think it'll be so fun to like help, you know, my parents, especially my mom, create like a new family home and like a home base for us. I think that'll be really exciting. So excited to live near them again and just be able to like show up and like raid their fridge and squeeze my dog and leave, you know? I wanted to just go into it with like peace and joy and just like gratitude that like this is finally happening. And I also just want to make everyone, also this year feel like loved. There's a lot of things that are about me this year, just with like the wedding. My family and friends have been really cool of like, this is about you, like whatever you want. Like my bridesmaids have been great, our bridal party's been great. Like I just feel so thankful to have such amazing family and friends who are like, yeah, whatever you want. And so I have just so much gratitude for that, and I want to spread that like love and like show that appreciation, because even the way like my family has just like, my mom calls JP like her bonus son. It's just like really sweet and really cute how they've all just like embraced him and like into our family and everything, and are also supportive of us kind of having our own things that we do and kind of creating our own unit. Sometimes I'm like, guys, it's okay, you can like say something or make a suggestion or whatever, like it's fine. But they're just so supportive of us building our own life together and just loving him and embracing him and his friends. Like everyone's just been so great, and so I'm so excited about like just spreading that love back and that gratitude back. My lifestyle, my brain dump category. So declutter and organize like my New Jersey home. So like my room, the basement, my bathroom, like anything that's like mine there, I want to make sure that like my parents are not moving anything that they don't have to move. So even if it's stuff that like, you know, I'm gonna keep at their house still, because that'll be like our new family home. So if it's like, you know, sentimental memento things that they just have more space for, and that'll go in their house. So I just want to make sure that like everything is decluttered, and then declutter all of this stuff in my apartment. And also when JP moves in, like, okay, what do we have two of? Because we both have our own kitchens and bedrooms, and just so like no one is moving anything that they don't have to move. The camera thing, the video, we love my DJI, we established that. But I also wanted to get better at like photography on my Lumix, so I can do more product photography for work, and it just like not be a big deal, and it be like this, or like when I'm doing social content on my phone, where it's like just as like easy. And then I wanted to work with more brands this year. I just started doing that in 2025, and it's been so much fun. Not only does it like, you know, generate a little extra income, but it also, you know, helps me do my corporate job better, my 9-to-5 better, connect with other people, you know, do things that I don't get to do as much in my corporate job, apparel or like beauty or fashion or food or anything like that. It's a lot of books. And so I feel like that, like I got it down. And so getting to kind of learn, you know, social media production and like video and photography content about like other industries has been really exciting. And then also learning about like affiliate marketing. And then for my finances, this is going to be an interesting year for that. There's expenses with, you know, weddings and vacations and all kinds of stuff. But then learning how to balance finances with two people once we have that dual income. This is like not just financial too, but it's like wrapping up all of the post-wedding stuff. So like the financial stuff, the legal stuff, the insurance stuff, dealing with, you know, adding the like hyphenated name and like to everything, and like doing our joint like finances because we're sort of doing that. Then just all the things that have to come with like having a dual income for like a married couple. And like then, you know, we gotta file our taxes together and just figuring out how all that works, because that's definitely something that I don't know, I kind of like doing that kind of stuff with like the puzzle of some of the finance stuff. And I'm very thankful to have like my dad who really helps us with that, but it's something I enjoy, so I feel like I'll probably just like add the, you know, like doing more of that stuff like in, you know, once we get married and everything, which like kind of excited about. And maybe I'm just excited about having like two incomes. Maybe that's just it, I don't know. Okay, so that is my 2026 goals. And then I have my little vision board here. You can see I've got like my progress, my 2026, and then all of the different like photos for the goals of everything, and then the like text things for kind of each like category, and then that picture in the middle of the girl running. I just kind of want to have that like vibe this year. That's my 2026 goals. How I'm starting off the new year. I have plenty more stuff to do, like with the goals, with stuff I've been putting off with being sick, just getting back on track. So I'm probably gonna do more short form like TikTok content about that, because honestly it just holds me accountable to do things when there's a camera on me. But thanks for listening to my like really long yappy rant. I just like love doing stuff like this, and I'm so thankful for everything that 2025 brought that was planned and unplanned. And then I'm just so excited for 2026. It's gonna be a really interesting year. It's gonna be a really, a big transition year. I feel good about it. I feel excited about it, which is not usually the case for me. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for coming to my yappy vlog. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.